afidi enko friend mra no me chira
onyina antwen
onyina he ya bibia na yebi aduma me ni nyina na e na bibia nya kawa
ya be fine
kasa babiem na osi mu Luis Enrique na ko fa te agda bori
me gada me say when your coach papa say amanako
serious na the team dey team ara
oh Debbie say time I ko fa morim no na Luis Enrique ye adwuma
ba say that Luis Enrique no ye adwuma na te hack ye adwuma say this man papa te aga ko fa no
Oba Kofi on a more serious note Luis Enrique
top notch
but
enche bia so na emfa o group stage am na emfa o
say na man here top notch
enti na make catch go for say bibia mo no sometimes in football you need time enyi de bia no bi betimi abaye Hansi Flick de ni bi o be fire partner afa baby sometimes you need time it was Enrique kaketu be nko qualify so he has found it and it's working. You see, Rich
at the group stages, Arsenal said 2-0.
So 2-0. And not a lot of issues, Rich. Only says our game now, Olusi 2-0 at the Emirates. No? Usman Dembele and Bobby. Because of disciplinary reasons. On one side, yes, Usman and Bobby because he's been the leader. And now after the game, Achraf Hakimi was interviewed by Manchester United goalkeepers legend Schmeichel. And now the senior Schmeichel Abisani said, what's the difference? Because you have PSG with Mbappe, Neymar, Ramos, Messi, Aden, even Ibrahimovic, Ronaldinho. All of these guys have played in Paris Saint-Germain before. But yes, they've come closest in the final before. But there is a feel of a different Paris Saint-Germain this season. And then according to Achraf Hakimi, I'll say for the very first time, and Ofi Madrid no ko Inter no Konenam Dortmund near there before he came to Paris Saint-Germain. But for him, for the very first time, Paris Saint-Germain team no it feels not like a team but as a family. Inti Obi who no say me on the left, me on the right, no big boy. And Rich, apart from the goal that Ousmane Dembele shared in Rano, he didn't really impact the game on a level of say tactically or scoring more goals, but he was a leader. Say Obekaya. And now before we went into the game, I told you that Paris Saint-Germain bisa Arsenal 2 or 3 different questions. Some questions now Paris Saint-Germain bisa Arsenal no. A rich reward. You ask the questions, but there are downsides to send your bono. Say Paris Saint-Germain betimi asha. They need to max omo downsides of omo bono. If Arsenal can get a job done, they also need to find ways to hold on to the ball. To be very honest, I think yesterday there was a slight issue with my production. Only said I did the whole thing, forgetting that Thomas Partey is unavailable. And because of the Americanos, and it was Partey was not there. And it means that Arsenal could not get the ball and have Nipa Bakobe Timi. Yes, but for a kind of ball retention, no. Ediama Paris, Ediama Arsenal for no. Which I want to highlight this thing, and this is not my work. Will be work or and I've asked permission to use it. Or Hasi, Paris Saint-Germain for me are very, very good. And so, won't join us on Facebook. I mean, so join us on Facebook and look at this. Go on and no share in the 4th minute. No? The same thing. And already they share Liverpool for in the 12 minutes when they played against them. And they use 3 different tactical principles in doing that job. This is excellent work from gentleman. Oh, yeah, very, very good work. Which first thing, near Paris Saint-Germain for 1 year, some men say, "So Kaya." You starting game in the first 35 minutes. Paris Saint-Germain are on top. And we see, almost kita ball very well. And you can say one of the things Paris Saint-Germain have and Arsenal for any the extra technicality. I was Paris Saint-Germain for Fiifi-Manfred. So he uses Fabian Ruiz as a CM, but also as a Roma. It's more like a floating player. All of the 3 players. It's rich. So what Jenny is on the tactical border. This is Paris Saint-Germain versus Liverpool at Anfield. The idea is that se mimi ba fear. It will force you to come and press me aggressively. It's Paris Saint-Germain using the home atmosphere of Liverpool and Arsenal to force them to come and press. So this is Liverpool versus Paris Saint-Germain, inviting the pressure to one side of the pitch, which is the left-hand side. And left-hand side, the two players in the world. One, Abrante friend William Pacho. He is Paris Saint-Germain's best passer in build-up. Then there is Nuno Mendes, born about the wide angles, also a very good passer into space. And that's exactly what they do. Rich, say, invited pressure and the next principle Paris Saint-Germain will apply. And they said they know that they have very good passers of the ball. This is the same thing. First video was for Arsenal, was for Liverpool. This is for Arsenal. Marquinhos Jibodo Obe possible number left. And
you can see Arsenal has 3 players or more.
I'm press it.
Yep.
Because Arsenal atmosphere, no. Mikel Arteta catch almost a push players, no. In the end, set off. Yeah, about press again. Yedika Kasa only Paris Saint-Germain bar. You have to take the ball off them. So every tactical brain will say, okay, the echo pressing the engine ball in them. Rich, Arsenal are going to press Paris Saint-Germain for no aggressive Martin Odegaard. Quickly, Rich, the next principle that Paris Saint-Germain Omunyina press. Unyambo call them. Then what Paris Saint-Germain will do is say, whilst Obabe pressing aggressively, no, the next principle is to manipulate to vacate central areas. It say, oh, manipulate to vacate central areas, and the episode and they say, okay, Obabe pressing me. Now you the off the ball movement into Behuno. Victor Koreskelia Abeba shot, but this is João Neves. Or into this space. Then look at Ousmane Dembele. That's the plan. It's already a lot of off the ball. You count the ball movement. What I mean is, Omo ball in Kitomono, Omo main ball, Omo movie. So the bear space about that baby, then they will attack. Excellent game plan from Luis Enrique in doing that. Same against Arsenal. Arsenal making sure they do that. Then space never be down.
About to space.
Almost one man and a human. And yesterday we spoke about it, the dynamism, the movement now. Paris Saint-Germain front train Ousmane Dembele never attack his front train. Then he gets it. Rich, look at maybe a Dembele beje bono for sa Arsenal goal. Then on the wingers team the Saidio Victor Kvaratskhelia ebe keep it waiting. And now it was the same thing. This is against Liverpool. Ousmane Dembele HSR go away in the 12 minutes against Liverpool. The same thing against Arsenal. Look at Victor Kvaratskhelia. Dembele ne de ball man. Dembele be follow run. And Obejina at the edge of the box. Arsenal could not track the run. First goal.
I saw the call left.
Yes, 4 minutes.
And not draw players in the
left on them.
So who's the space now? Down?
No, Obejina.
No, but to Dembele.
No, but to one on a part.
And your first goal.
Luis Enrique.
Super.
Excellent game plan. Excellent game plan. Rich. And I think Senena Okano and I got be the neka and since we boy a ball correct. Especially first 35 minutes.
Come class.
After ball we don't form nice. Yeah. They were good. They were good. And you see, Obi Ebisa me say Fi o say Thomas Tepa te wo ball ni mo a. Enka ball ne besesa. And I say Kasna betimi ayeden. I'm not saying say Kebia Thomas Tepa te wo mo a. Enka 1v1 na material nya no ko be hye and I trust that they no be hye. But uni say the few times Arsenal in saka ball no mo here controller. Ah no se betimi kita to no bo ase abiye ball retention kakra to take the steam off Paris Saint-Germain for one style of play no. And for me it really affected. But I like this picture, Rich. Me who part of me on is here the wife and somewhere na. I mean, of course, the partner. At a stance, the motor mobile. I was very excited by a nice one. Can't have a son of Shahan, no son baby girl.
Okay, not teenage.
No, not teenage. But one for a wife in Piade. Senior.
Is it yes, was an hour?
I can't be over a wife in Piade. I said, there was a. Oh, yeah, there was a.
Baby,
Ousmane Dembele not that she go.
Okay.
This year 2025 the Ousmane Dembele. 33 goals, 12 assists.
So
45.
Me can say no after the game.
Yeah.
I ran to be a sending message. No, because I'm say okay. Sending a case. Mohamed Salah.
Yeah.
So GEP or no.
Yeah.
Na Champions League no so no. Only Liverpool to me
Yeah.
Ballon d'Or company and fan fra.
Yeah.
You know because I'm say Osha the friend league now. I ran already on it. PSG or match dada. Champions League no so likely ometumi akọ final. Yeah, including what Ballon d'Or Communimana.
Of course, Rich. Now this year Ballon d'Or power rankings ni there. I think say we 4 or 5 maybe 2 or 3 players be free Barca. But Ousmane Dembele has to be in there.
Okay.
Ousmane Dembele, Rafinha, Lamine Yamal to an extent, Pedri, depending on what you want to talk about. I think they has to be there. Maybe even because Vicha Kvaratskhelia so by 10 plus goals and assists.
Okay.
On also about Rich, not a penalty and a penalty this incident.
Or contempt do.
Vicha court.
Also, referee no very close to the action.
Yeah.
This over here, a brand no timer, Julian Timber, so the na referee.
Yeah.
And so over here, Timber soon say a brand as or banana no yinis. And a brand ni down to referee feels I say or comfort of no I said that or penalty.
The same thing that declines the Mbappe or Santiago Bernabeu. So
but we want so the manche.
And I make to also then is about no job.
No yinis.
Before what be ban and that's not for no. They seem to be good with it. Rich, you can say the game will be decided away at the Parc des Princes. Like you mentioned, Ousmane Dembele, Gini Donnarumma, very, very good. And now a lot of chances. I think say game near Shane and run Rich, we should have gotten more than one goal. Yeah. We should have gotten more than one goal. At least Arsenal could have scored. It's a game no you call away at the Parc des Princes. Still, where's your money on? Arsenal or Paris Saint-Germain? And I'll be training second league.
Second league, no.
And train second league.
If you PSG for now, you know. Ometime Arsenal.
Ometime Arsenal.
So omi one team and I'm in Chelsea and
yeah.
Before Liverpool, me can say Liverpool be you.
Yeah.
No, me Liverpool.
Yeah.
Aston Villa, they me can say 50-50.
Yeah.
And we Aston Villa so free.
Yeah.
And they no, my no Emirates no.
You have to respect them.
Conformity team is solid. Wow. Solid team.
Which any yemfenremu ademunjike na enra which me Lamine Yamal personality. Enra catch Madrid for any plane. Or say almost shebasa ometinya kasa. Sisi a ono wa she Madrid ni dey. He has every right to talk. I was very impressed with Enra in the pre-match press conference now, especially the bit about Messi. Journalists need try somebody compare to Lionel Messi or Simesramo. Me just a 17-year-old boy. Lionel Messi is the best to ever do it. And me compare me who to no. On bizarre say I don't know dying it no so notify any income. Now after the that dying it no ye video no to train auto face tani identity. Mo fan channel. E bibia na oni adwuma ye okọ training ba na oye no pe bia e wo fie. Rich. In the Champions League this season, Barcelona is the highest scoring team as it stands. 35 plus goals. Inter Milan, and they are the team that will concede the least goals, 5 goals this season, our Champions League. So it is clear, a very solid, rugged, compact defense versus a very open attack from team my friend FC Barcelona. And of course, a Hansi Dieter Flick playing against Papa, your friend is Simeone Inzaghi. Very, very interesting game in the hugely tactical. And again, me try to paint a picture of the things that will happen in the game. So, then it will inform your decision making on baby at the end of the day. Yati Sebasta for starting lineup will include Szczesny, Kunde, Kubasi, Inigo Martinez, Gerardo Martinez. Essentially, the same team. Maybe the only difference about Fermin Lopez or starting ahead of Dani Olmo for the game. Then for Inter, Bishek Acerbi or Oreste Bastoni, but he will be back. Carlos Augusto, Mkhitaryan, Calhanoglu, Barella, any Denzel Dumfries are one starting against Roma over the weekend. Then Thuram, Awaya Fit, any Abrancha, your friend Lautaro Martinez. Rich, you name the strength of Barcelona. You can't have several times. And there are two things. Barca 14 year team are married the Spanish tiki-taka, plus the ability to play direct in a German style. Now, Osan Lusubo and Yabasa Foni and they said they'll press you aggressively to win the ball back for you. What we've not spoken about in a long time is how Internazionale Milan plays. So in the next 1 minute, I will try to remind you how Inter football. Rich, Inter football, only a defensive team, but almost more saying the defensive teams are attacking. Meaning that American Otiasia, all money boom and a tinko, onya ball or tuna bossy. No, I build it up. But the real plan for Inter for game over say, Rich, say, or build it with Sane back trainer. Either of the back three, a lot of rotations into on the right hand side. Say you them freeze, and you want say Biseka. Say Bisek ever pass now on top of your tactical board. You will see the annotation here. Bisek nyamo pass now. What's Bisek ever call him? If Bisek is being man-marked or pressed by Rafinha, who is on Barca's left, Rafinha would have to follow him. And that's they will be chasing shadows all throughout the game. Rich, if I play the ball, Bisek ball pass me, Bisek ababeshe. That is how Inter build up in how they play. On the right hand side, Carlos Augusto Ajiboro. Ajiboro on a short spell, finding a bench friend Denzel Dumfries quickly. Onya the ball on the man pay. Look at the run of our bench friend Carlos Augusto, constantly pulling players out, and that is how Inter have been playing for about 2 seasons now. Na team biani omushia ewo Italian Serie A anymore. Team no team is successful in playing against Inter without the ball was Atalanta. Then Atalanta boni game or boni man for man press maybe like and na Paris Saint-Germain here no 1v1 odiwechi we play a day it will play about pass corner or cut over the pitch card dinechi 1v1 very aggressive. That's what they do. Rich in the last game Inter any team my friend AC Milan boy AC share Inter 3-0 no AC did the same thing. Very very successful man for man press. Every time na AC phone nya bone go mo press o mo bone film and you see with data and even with the eye test e come about be say the best way to stop Inter for no and inti na make asa say ubo game na ubo obi press 1v1 ade a wo hia obi a good ball retainer inti e kapate wasem Inter for no in a bench friend Barella Clanoglu make it run in the middle. They can do that job. But again, also here dribblers from the wide area. But Inter don't play with natural wingers. Or my wing backs in Nunyan and natural wingers. Dumfries and DiMarco don't essentially dribble. Into which, if you go into the Italian Serie A, now Uko didn't come about the top teams in terms of dribbles, any touches, any take-ons, any progressive carries. Team on that last Inter Milan. Every time, Inter play quick, intricate passes on Chenso because Omenim said one of a style of playing into and they also don't have the players to do that job. It's rich. And then Barca are going to play tiki-taka or direct. Or you're pressing Inter 1v1. But Inter any players will be in the action and then play through Barca for the personal, which is sets the tone for the game today at the music. And for me, it makes it very exciting. Inter only know what to do. Alright, I think that at the highest level, especially in the last few games have been decided by very, very fine margins. To say, unya chance now, share, and now Paris Saint-Germain goes or Manchester City can come back and come and hurt them. I would Park the Prince say, I think this game will be defined by fine margins. I don't like the fact that Hans-Dieter Flick ever started game without Dani Olmo. Make catch your last week, he said, Barca beat me breaking this Inter team down without the ball into a compact 4-4-2 no, and that's even 5-3-2 block now. They will need Dani Olmo in between the lines. Femi Lopez looks like Obe started, also very good, but not as good as Dani Olmo in between lines. The one is playing against Tima, your friend Internazionale Milan. It's rich, very, very interesting. Inter's defense, rotations without the ball, plus Barca for a lot of rotations up top. The quality of from both wings, no, when it comes to Lamine Yamal and Rafinha. I said it several times. The absence of Alejandro Balde a huge miss. Huge miss. Because Gerard Martin need the quality of Rafinha. And for me, that is probably the reason why Inter will get a very, very good chance into this when they are playing away against Barcelona away from home. You see, Gary?
Barca.
The Barcelona did straight win.
Yeah.
I'm a shame. Barca be shame.
Me so be shame ne.
Operations I want him in time to.
Me say on me show.
Relax kakra.
O de troto. Me say.
Adarum ye trade go for
Barcelona be she Inter na nwumre.
What you saying?
On the Barca team we know. Amubo teams amubo low block. Amuni problem o. You can defend. O de defend it. Amo what it take to unlock the defense no.
But is
because of Rafinha and then this ball Lamine Yamal. Yeah.
Which is very good. Barca sounds was central progression. But Rich,
Inter they are very good when it comes to defense. And but this Barca team, almost so low block.
Almost form in the last 3 games. Almost losing, you know. They've lost all the last 3 games.
I don't know. Obi Beka say maybe Ebia numbers I'm rested for this Barca game.
The Scudetto is up for the taking.
Maybe I'm not Scudetto no move you so yeah Champions League ni chess Scudetto.
Samum.
Me sanam huno.
But say
what? Me kase sanete but sana me personally me huno.
Ubetima Messi 2 ni na Scudetto ne Champions League ni na.
But me hunu say numbers I'm rested kakra. And they train this Barca team because look Barca team we know. Very difficult to beat them. Very. What's the Barca 2 match 4?
Oh ma minia etona mo prisons officers
for no. Yes, sanete. Barca team no. Born no minimum.
Nti o metimi ahye.
On be say Inter. Inter dia go be show mu away.
Barca be say Inter home and away. Without Lewandowski, without Alejandro Balde.
Barca team go hia Lewandowski. No.
Rich.
A team am create chance to goals in baba. Manfred is between us when they can score.
I think that Hansi Flick ebe focus a lot more on the build up and say or starting a ball now obe pushy Frankie de Jong in between Inigo Martinez and Kubasi, which will force Pedri up top a lot more in a box midfield with Femi Lopez. I think that is where Inter trump card now because Lautaro will drop deep centrally. Same for Marcus Thuram. Barella Clanoglu make it Taran bit me control Fiifi. I don't see Inter losing away at the Montjuic anymore. I don't see Inter losing so much. It's also not a game at the Montjuic. I don't think so. I think that the second leg will decide this game. But I don't see Inter for no able to so much. They have a lot of quality. And say in the Italian Serie A, Napoli about down with 3 points. They know say it is almost gone. Napoli were better fixtures than them, and they would have to dig deep and hope at least Omenya Bibi at the free side game we are. Omne Barcelona for but very interesting, very interesting game, and I'm sure we've given you a tip for everything that they need to know about the game. No, your coach Kakra, you're feeling into and now, omo na omo in my and na Betway for net yes can momenti boys net discapa and then we say omo de fire emoji net to honum sa omo koso no mundi and so a good code for them. They should go 4 games. And that we're expecting us now to score momentum and Sheba. We should go again. Rich internet coach no 4 per first one no say Rich any chip munina coach no na me man right. First one here 1C 56 C6 47 and no 10 odds. Next one here 1C 5507 6C and no 16 odds. Next one here 1C 550C 4949 and no 6 plus odds. And the last one here 1C 56C207 and no 8 plus odds. Rich into say over coffee now we've put together the best picks for you and good luck to you.
Good luck.